List here, and here's my second episode of Storytime. I actually wanted to get this out sooner than now. Actually, I've been wanting to get a lot of things out sooner than now, but I have a lot of personal stuff going on, and it's been hindering me from doing some of the things that I wanted to do. And actually, I was gonna get two videos up on Saturday, but rendering was being a bitch, so I couldn't get it out, and I'm sorry about that. But I'm gonna try to upload at least 4 times this week. Don't quote me on that, but I'm gonna try my best to. But I'll get right into the story. This is actually about me and an ex of mine. If any of you guys know me personally, you will most likely know who this is. But for anyone who doesn't necessarily know me personally, this is gonna be probably something crazy. But I was living in Indiana. For the people, some of you guys knew that already. Actually, I'm pretty sure I said that in one of my older videos. But I was in Indiana, and I was living with said ex, and I was living with her parents. Like, it was all four of us. And so there was one day where her parents were arguing, and I was the only one up other than them, and I was like chilling on the couch, like fiddling on my phone, and my ex, she was next to me asleep, and so they were inside of their room and they're arguing. Next thing, they came out there and they were like really loud and arguing, and they started getting physical, and so that's where I was like, yo, what's going on? And it's like I turned the light on because at first it was just pitch black, and I understood how they were even like wrestling with like any lights on. And so I cut the light on, and I'm like, yo, what's going on? And that's when my ex gets up, and she's like confused and stuff. And so this is where it really irritates me, because they started acting like little kids. They were like, well, he did this, and then, well, she did that. And next thing you know, the mom was talking, and the dad just like puts her in a headlock and like wrestles her to the ground. And so that's where I'm like, yo, what the heck? And so my ex and we end up splitting them up, and I bring the dad into their room. I'm like, man, you gotta calm down, cause like, you know, we don't want any like problems or anything like that. And so he was like, that's when my ex came into the room, and he told her, he was like, you better get him away from me before I effing kill him. I don't know why I would censor myself, but yeah. And so I'm in my head thinking like, this nigga ain't doing shit with me. But that's not even me being cocky. That's just me knowing that nothing's gonna happen to me. But so that probably still sounded cocky, but still. But so like then after that, he tries to like grab me and like put me in a headlock. I threw him off me, and I like put him on the bed, and I'm like, man, calm down, cause I don't want to fight you. Like, that's not something that, you know, I do. I don't really fight. And so that's when like I started to let him go, because he seemed to start calming down. And so he like tries to grab me by my neck, and that's when my ex comes and like hits him like, yo, like calm down. And so he picks up a bat, and he's like looking at all three of us, and we're standing at the doorway like looking at him like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And so that's when the mom grabs the bat from him and throws it inside the living room. Mind you, we had a pet dog, and the dog is like a really hyper dog, so the dog was thinking everyone was playing. It was barking, it was playing around. And so like, it's a little bit of a blur, but I remember we all were in the living room. The dog was in the corner, I was in front of the dog, and my ex was in front of me, and the dad had the bat, and the mom was across the room yelling. And he told his daughter, he told my ex, he was like, move, or I'm gonna hit both of you. And so in my head, I'm thinking like, if he hits her, I'm gonna beat his ass. If he hits me, I'm gonna fuck him up, which basically means the same thing, but I really was gonna fuck him up if he hit her. And so he swings the bat. Lo and behold, it hits her. After that, I went ballistic. I started literally just punching him in his face over and over. He stumbled himself into the room, didn't stop hitting him then, and then I ended up stopping because like I came to my senses, and I told the mom, like, get some clothes on, because it was like in November, so I'm like, get some clothes on, get a coat on, get some shoes and stuff on, we're gone. Say the same thing to my ex, and so at this point she ended up running out. She's like screaming for help. She's like she called the cops, And so they said, "Oh, no one's gonna come for like about an hour." And so we're like, that kind of irritated me because it's like, well, what if someone was dying? That's really messed up. But so then after that, um, I remember that I had like they were sitting outside, and I had stuff on, and he has the bat again, and I picked up the spatula like that was next to me, and so I'm like if you hit me with that shit, I'ma fuck you up, plain and simple. And I told him that to his face, and he was like, he was like, you ain't gonna do shit, you ain't gonna be shit, you just a little ass kid. And so I'm like, and so and I don't remember what I said after that, um, but my ex was pushing me out the door, and so he was like, "You ain't about to leave with my shit." And so I'm like, "You want this shit so bad? Fucking take it." And I threw it, and I hit him in the side of the face, and it cut him. And so I didn't really give a fuck at the time because like I was like highly pissed off. But so then after that, we're all outside. He breaks the glass because there was like the screen door, not the no the door, the actual door. It had the two windows, um, and he breaks the bottom part. And he comes out with this roofing shovel. And for those of you guys who don't know what a roofing shovel is, I'll try to put like a little picture or clip right here. But yeah, and so he like swings that at me, and the first one I blocked with my arm, because like I'm like it's not gonna hurt that bad, but it actually did kind of hurt. Second time I dodged it, and that's when I started hitting him again. And I don't remember how, but we ended up in the kitchen, and I'm like just punching him, and he's like falling over like the chair, and I'm just still punching him. And then I stop, and I'm yelling at him like, "Yo, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Like, you over here putting your hands on your wife. You just hit your daughter in the head with a fucking bat. Like, calm your shit down." And like I'm just cussing him out while fighting him. And so then what else happened? Um, Mind you, for those of you like this is gonna come into play. This ex I'm talking about was white, but so then after all of that and the cops came, I had like this Christmas sweater on, and it was like blood all up on the arm, which was from the dad. And so um, the cops come, and it was 3 squad cars, it was an ambulance, and then a 4th squad car came, but just to pass through. And so the cops had pulled all of us aside, like one by one, and was asking us what happened. We told them what happened. Me, the mother, and my ex, and you know we all had coexistence, like coincidence, like all of the stories were going with each other. And so they were like, "Well, who's in any pain? Like who's injured here?" And so we all say, "Well, we're all okay." And we're like, "Well, what about the dad?" And we're all like, "Well, he's the only one bleeding." And so they said, "Well, we have to treat it as if he's a victim at this moment, and that's the only way we'll be able to get in the house. Because if we lock the door, we physically can't go in there, um, unless we have probable cause, and there's no probable cause at this moment." And I'm looking like, bro, we just fucking told you that this nigga just put hands on all of us. What the fuck else are we supposed? Nigga, what? And so he probably didn't believe it because I'm young, like I had the dad's blood on my arm. So I was just like, well, still. But then after that, they kept the door locked, and they didn't like let him in. But well, they did. He didn't let them in, and so it was like they didn't do shit. And so we all had like just like I'm glad that all of us had like attire on for like the cold, because it was, as I said, it was November, and this is Indiana. It's not like if it's down south, you know. And so the cop was like, all right, well, what happened? Asked us the second time, then the third time, and then the 4th time they asked, my ex was in the back of the ambulance because she was hyperventilating, and they wanted to make sure she was okay. And so that's when the medics asked her, and the cops was asking me and the mom. the mom goes to say that I beat the dad's ass for no reason, and that's what the cop told me, and I'm like, wow, okay. And so um, it was like, all right, fuck it. So the cop has said, oh, do you guys have anywhere to go for the rest of the night? 'Cause it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and we were like, nah, not right now, because everyone that we knew was asleep, and or they like lived really far. Because the city that we were at, the closest person to us was like about 3 miles by walking, and no one had a car at the moment, so it was like, yeah. So shit, I'm trying to remember everything, but so they were like, all right, well, we'll just take you down to the city hall. You guys can stay there until like you guys can call for someone. And so we get down to city hall, and like the cops gave us a ride there, which was really cool on their part. That was the only time I've ever been in a squad car. But so I'm trying to remember everything. It's so hard to remember this because like so much happened, and like, it was so much like hypeness in that one night. But so we get down there, and the aunt texted me like what happened before I could even text her. And so I text her and tell her what happened, and I call up my brother and I tell him what happened, and he was like, do you need me to come to Indiana? Because like I can make a quick move. And I'm like, nah, it's all right, everything all cool. And so then that's when the aunt calls and said, well, he just called me and was like, don't you go F and pick them up. Fuck her and that nigger that she's with. Basically talking about me and his daughter. So it's like, wow, alright. And so the mom is like, well, I have to go back. Like he's like in pain and shit like that. So she leaves to go back to see how the dad's doing, I guess. And so we're all just like, fuck it. So that's when my ex calls her grandmother, and her grandmother's like, all right, I'll come get you guys as soon as I take at that time her boyfriend to work. And so that was like about that. She said she was gonna do that at, like she was gonna come get us before 7. And so it's like about 5:45, so we got like an hour at most. So we sitting there, we're waiting, and then that's when she comes to get us, and we're like, well, we gotta get all our stuff. And so when we get over there, Dad's like, I don't want him in my house. He assaulted me, and I'm gonna press charges. And so I'm thinking like, dude, you really want to press charges? We can, cause you ain't gonna win this one, not this time. But I was like, all right, if you don't want me here, I'll get out. I gave them the key that they had made me, and I stayed outside while my ex is getting all the stuff. And so after that, we ended up getting all of the stuff. We ended up going to the aunt's house, and the mom was like telling like the grandmother like, oh, we need to go to the hospital. He's in a lot of physical pain and stuff like that, and he's like constantly bleeding and stuff like, and all of that jazz and stuff. Like, it was just so much stuff that was going on. Still much stuff that was said that I was just like, I was half paying attention because I'm like, y'all just some bullshitty ass liars. Like, fuck y'all. But yeah. So I remember someone telling me like, well, I remember my ex. She was telling me he needed 3 stitches inside of his head. He had a black eye. His lip was busted, and something else. I don't remember. But I didn't know that. Like me and my ex didn't know this until she went into work one day, and they had came in and was trying to get something, and her coworker asked. So I was like, "Oh, who did that to him?" And that's when my ex was like, "I'm assuming Brandon." And so, yeah. To wrap this all up, like a lot. It was a crazy night, but there's just certain things that don't fly with me, and if I see you like physically doing like if I see you with a woman, you're physically like assaulting her, that's just not something that's gonna roll with me or like sit with me. And I don't know, I just don't like that. And like I'll tell you like, yo, calm that shit down, and I'll like try to like diffuse the situation. And if you put your hands on me, it's just not gonna end well. I'm not the type to fight. I don't like fighting. It's not something that's in my that's like, yeah, let me just go and start fighting a dude. That's just not something I like to do. But I'll defend myself if need be, and I'll defend the people closest to me. Yeah, that may sound white knightish, but at the end of the day, that's just how I was raised. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's hectic. If you don't believe it, frankly, I wouldn't blame you. I didn't even believe it happened after everything was all said and done. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoy. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you can get future updates and notifications on future videos. Other than that, list out.